Coverage you can count on continues after the break.
Dee Griffin and Archith Seshadri standing by to let us know what's ahead at 4:30. Hey, everybody.
Hey there. Thanks so much, Brad and Jenny. Okay, that was my fault there. My bad.
Live TV bloopers, right, guys?
I turned on my mic. All right. Thanks so much, Brad and Jenny.
Well, officials are still trying to figure out the potential risk to national security, so we're going to have a lot of that coming up next at 4:30.
And that's right. The latest on News Channel 6 at 4:30.
Yes.
The aerial flood advisory is now expiring for our area. However, we still continue to see pockets of heavy rainfall along with some lightning strikes across parts of the CSRA. Stay with us for more details.
Now at 4:30, growing concern over the documents seized at former President Trump's Florida estate.
Plus, the Buffalo Bills are down a player after he is accused of sexual assault.
And Europe's largest power plant is being inspected as Russia's war in Ukraine rages on. The details as your news continues.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4:30.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin.
And I'm Archith Seshadri. Thanks so much for joining us this beautiful Monday.
Yep.
We begin now with the latest following the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago.
A Florida judge could be close to approving a request from former President Donald Trump's lawyers to appoint a third party to review classified material seized from the Florida home. Justin Finch reports.
Increasing concerns over potential damage to national security following the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida estate. ABC News has learned the Director of National Intelligence has sent a letter to top congressional lawmakers confirming an assessment is underway. That heavily redacted affidavit used in the search of Mar-a-Lago released Friday, revealing some critical details. The FBI launched the search in part on evidence from a significant number of civilian witnesses. The Justice Department warning that as the investigation continues, key witnesses could face intimidation or retaliation. There is an ongoing grand jury investigation, and prosecutors have already identified potential targets and are looking for more.
The most important part that's redacted, though, relates to the obstruction. And that, to me, is what this all is going to come down to.
The FBI has found documents involving the most sensitive of classified material, including some on human intelligence, spies, electronic eavesdropping, and secrets from allies.
Disclosing these methods place all Americans at risk.
From across the Republican Party, demands for more transparency.
Again, I'm not saying put all the documents on the internet, but give us some sense of the subject matter.
Some have their minds made up.
The hypocrisy of folks in my party that spent years chanting "lock her up" about Hillary Clinton because of some deleted emails or quote-unquote wiping a server are now out there defending a man who very clearly did not take the national security of the United States to heart.
Former President Trump fighting back. A hearing is set for later this week on his request for a Florida federal court to name a special master, a third-party expert to review the FBI seized evidence from Mar-a-Lago. Trump's special master request hearing is set for September 1st. The judge already indicating her preliminary intent to approve that special master request. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
We should learn more this week about the alleged leaks by prosecutors in the Alex Murdaugh case and what evidence investigators say they may have uncovered. Defense attorneys say they have still not received any of the evidence that they are entitled to, but they also claim the South Carolina Attorney General's office is leaking some important information to the media, specifically cell phone audio that allegedly puts Murdaugh at the scene of the murders of his wife and son.
The Buffalo Bills are out a punter after a rape allegation was made against the player. Andrew Denberg reports.
Matt Araiza is out of the NFL. The Buffalo Bills releasing the rookie punter after he was accused, along with 2 college teammates, of gang raping an underage teen.
At this time, we just think it's the best move for everyone to move on from Matt.
The alleged attack came at a Halloween party last fall when Araiza was a star at San Diego State. The 2 other players allegedly involved have been removed from the school's roster. A civil lawsuit filed by a 17-year-old claims she was observably intoxicated while with Araiza and that he led her into a bedroom where the other 2 players were waiting. The alleged victim spoke to San Diego station KPPS.
They threw me down onto the bed, face down, and they took turns assaulting me.
Her father spoke to ABC News.
The first thing I did was, oh my Lord, how do I make sure that my daughter is physically cared for and safe? Then you bet anger comes in.
Araiza's attorney claims this is all a money grab.
He is 100% adamant that he never forcibly raped this young lady or forcibly had sex with her in any type of way.
Araiza saying in a statement, the facts of the incident are not what they are portrayed in the lawsuit or in the press. I look forward to quickly setting the record straight. The Bills say they had no knowledge of the accusations when they drafted Araiza in April, but the alleged victim's lawyer was in contact with the Bills in late July, weeks before the civil lawsuit was filed last Thursday. The Bills then released Araiza Saturday, 2 days later, amid growing public backlash.
There are growing calls for the NFL to be held accountable amid a slew of sexual assault scandals. The NFL did not respond to our request for comment. Andrew Denberg, ABC News, New York.
2 people, including the gunman, are dead after shooting at a supermarket in Bend, Oregon this week. Police say the gunman fired shots in the parking lot of the Forum Shopping Center that's in the central Oregon City with an AR-15 style weapon as well as a shotgun. He was found dead inside the Safeway supermarket. The shooter killed 1 person at the store's entrance. That person was later taken to the hospital and died. The gunman's name or identity has not yet been released.
Time now to turn to meteorologist Jennifer Tracci. Happy Monday as we look at the radar here. It's sort of matching my dress, but
we want it to match ours, though.
I know. I would love to have some sunshine again.
Right.
The weekend was great. We had a bit of a break from the rain, but now as we go into the start of the work week, we're back to these scattered showers and storms that are dumping a lot of heavy rainfall in parts of the CSRA. We did have an aerial flood advisory that expired at 4:30 now, so the Augusta metro area is looking pretty good now with just some light rain showers to the south of Bobby Jones. But looking towards the southeast of that, Barnwell County received up to around 3 inches of rain over a short period of time. Good news for them, they're mostly under light rain now, but still very widespread, with the heaviest rain now focused over in Burke County, just to the south of Waynesboro, and also over Millen and Jenkins County. And looking now live on our Skyview Network cam in downtown Waynesboro, you can definitely tell the rain is coming down heavy, and it's also very cloudy outside. The clouds today kept our temperatures much cooler compared to how they typically are in the end of August. Right now we're sitting in the mid to upper 70s, 79 at both Daniel Field and over in Aiken. Feeling like the low 80s though, thanks to the humidity still remaining high. The reason for the rain and the cloudiness is thanks to this trough of low pressure out to sea. That's brought a lot of widespread showers and storms, mostly along our coastline, especially near Charleston. But now for us, those storms are starting to continue to move inland. And as I mentioned, so far we have seen over 3 inches of rain in northern and Barnwell County. Other spots around 1.5 to 2.5 inches. So another day of some storms on tap for tomorrow, but a drier middle of the week with some more sunshine coming back. But then by the end of the week, back to those high rain chances and cooler temperatures for Labor Day weekend. So stay with us for all the details, but back to you.
Right. Thanks a lot, Jenna. International inspectors are examining a power plant in Ukraine. It's Europe's largest with 6 reactors. Russian troops now control it, and Russia has stored military equipment there, counting on Ukraine not to risk attacking a nuclear facility. Inspectors will examine the plant's safety and security systems, the safety and health of the workers, as well as the extent of physical damage to the plant.
The FDA is expected to authorize new COVID-19 booster shots this week. The authorization would happen before human testing is fully complete. This is a similar approach to what's taken with the flu vaccines. The agency plans to assess the shots using data from other sources like mice. The new shots would target Omicron subvariants as well as the original strain of the coronavirus.
South Carolina is using a recently approved method to stretch its supply of monkeypox vaccines as case numbers rise in the Palmetto State. U.S. health officials authorized a method involving giving the shot under the first layer of skin instead of deeper fat tissue. This allows providers to increase the available supply by 5 times. Meanwhile, the director of the CDC is cautiously optimistic about the current state of the outbreak.
We have started to see globally that we may be turning a corner. We in the United States had our first case about 2 weeks after some of the European countries that we've also started to see turn around. And as you note, or turn downward.
The U.S. has the most infections of any country, more than 16,000. No one in the U.S. has died from monkeypox, but deaths have been reported in other countries.
All right, switching gears now, we are taking our daily trip to La La Land, Hollywood.
That's right. We're taking a look at how some newer and older films are faring at the box office as News Channel 6 at 4:30 continues.
Welcome back. Today in entertainment, while newer movies did fare pretty well at the box office this weekend, a film that was released in July is now passing the 500 million mark at the international box office.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's Lionel Moise.
I want to go home.
Dismal ticket sales at the box office have this weekend earning its place as the lowest grossing of the summer, with theaters taking in an estimated 54 million total for all titles.
Help me, please.
Sony's horror film, The Invitation, earned $7 million to take the top spot at the box office.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me.
Brad Pitt's Bullet Train, with just 5.6 million in ticket sales, came in second.
But I am going to be a super villain.
But some good news for Universal's Minions, The Rise of Gru, which passed the $500 million milestone at the international box office. The latest installment of the family-friendly franchise has taken in about $868 million worldwide. Speaking of the movies, for one day this year, September 3rd, tickets will cost just $3 at a majority of American theaters. It's part of a newly launched National Cinema Day to lure moviegoers during a quiet spell at the box office. More than 3,000 locations, including AMC and Regal Cinemas, are participating, as well as the major studios. And happy birthday to Lea Michele. The actress is celebrating her 36th birthday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Lionel Moise, ABC News.
All right, so are we going to get the rain like Dee's green here? Yes. Are we going to get the sunshine like our pink here? What's happening in the Peach State, Jenna?
A lot of rain for the rest of this evening. A few more storms headed our way tomorrow as well, but we will have a little bit of sunshine by Wednesday and Thursday, and then changes again for Labor Day weekend. So stay with us. I'll have a look at your Futurecast after this break.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
been a very rainy Monday. Looking at Live Viper 6 right now, we're continuing to track these scattered showers and storms impacting the majority of the CSRA. Saluda and Edgefield County remain fairly dry today, actually with a little bit of sunshine. But for the rest of us, we've seen around 1 to 3 inches of rain over a very short amount of time. That aerial flood advisory from earlier has been dropped, but we do continue to see a few different aerial flood advisories out to the east of us, along with a flash flood warning in parts of Orangeburg. But let's take a look at some of the areas dealing with some heavy rain. That's in the north of Jefferson County, also parts of Glasscock County, around Stapleton, just to the west of Rennes. Also to the south of that, seeing widespread heavy downpours in northern Emmanuel County, just outside of Swainsboro, and also widespread heavy rainfall in Waynesboro and parts of Barnwell, and also down in Jenkins County near Millen. So a lot of us dealing with the heavy downpours, and we're seeing that on our Skyview Network cam now in downtown Waynesboro. Also a very overcast day it's been, and that's kept our temperatures mostly in the 70s today, believe it or not. 75 now in Waynesboro. We have a south-southeast wind at 5 miles per hour, pumping in the moisture in from the south. Also visibility down to 3 miles in the Augusta area. Right now we're seeing 90 degrees up in McCormick. As I mentioned, they have remained dry today, so temperatures stayed on the warmer side over there. Upper 70s from Augusta to the south, though, down to Millen. 80 degrees now in Aiken. Sparta, you're at 84, 81 in Sandersville. Now, this rain is all because of this trough of low pressure out to sea. We've had some very widespread showers and storms across the South Carolina coastline. Notice now mostly light rain, with the CSRA actually dealing with the heaviest rain now at this time. Before we get more into our forecast here, I do want to touch on the tropics, as we have 4 areas of interest we're watching. 3 of those here in the yellow do have very low chances of development over the next 5 days, but this area in red has a 50% chance over 48 hours and 80% over 5 days. So that's the one we'll be watching the closest, but right now none of these are of immediate impact or immediate concern to the United States. So just stay with us as we get closer to the peak of hurricane season. We'll continue to see things fire up. When we have our next tropical storm, that will be named Danielle, and that will only be our 4th one of the 2022 season. Hot temperatures here in town over the next few days, topping off at 93 degrees on Wednesday. Back to below average conditions for Labor Day weekend, though, as we have another system come through, bringing us a lot of cloudiness and also higher rain chances. But we will have a bit of a break Wednesday and Thursday, a good bit of sunshine and lower rain chances. So enjoy that while it lasts. Notice tonight we'll still see some storms around. I do think our future cast is underdoing this for tonight. Until around 8 o'clock, we'll still see pockets of some heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. For tomorrow morning, back to cloud cover with a few showers popping up around the lunch hour and some heavier rain possible by around 5 to 6 o'clock, but nothing as widespread or heavy as today. For tomorrow, starting out mostly cloudy, 84 degrees by 11, upper 80s by the afternoon. And for Labor Day weekend, things are looking much cooler with highs only in the upper 80s. And our rain chances up to around 40 to 50%. For tomorrow, a few afternoon thunderstorms, temperatures staying hot. Then as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, it will be slightly drier, and then rain chances pick back up just in time for Labor Day weekend. And also our temperatures will drop down to the upper 80s.
All right, thanks so much. And I guess it's just taking care of that drought we had.
I know, no more drought anymore after all this rain we had.
Love it. Thanks a lot. Well, still ahead, we're getting a sneak peek of this week's Giving Your Best winner. Don't go away. And time now for a sneak peek at this month's Giving Your Best winner.
WJBF's Jenny Montgomery joins us now for the very latest. Hi, Jenny.
So much, guys. Ashley Gross's mother-in-law was recently diagnosed with cancer, and as she took her to her chemo treatments, she got an idea to help cheer up other patients who were fighting cancer. She organized a Valentine card campaign so each patient would get cards and words of encouragement from a stranger, and it grew bigger than she could have imagined.
But also we had enough to supply goodie bags for all of those people. So when they came in to get chemo the week of Valentine's Day, they were presented with a goodie bag, and it was, full of little, crossword books and pens and candies and just things that they need or they might want while they're there. So it was definitely, it blew me away, the amount of support that just came in from absolutely everybody.
And you can see the full story right here on News Channel 6 at 5. Dee, Arch, back to you.
Thanks, Jenny. And that's it for right now, but stay tuned for more coverage you can count on right here.
Representative Rick Allen is in the Garden City today. More on his visit on News Channel 6 at 5.